We're able to start bang on time. Professor Morner on sea level changes and the ocean observational facts.
Okay. Friends and colleagues, it's wonderful to be here. Fasten your seatbelts. We are taking off. Sea level changing in Indian Ocean Observation Center. This is my name. That's my own institute. That is my email. And correspond with me. Okay? And you get all my reprints. I was head of this institute for a long time. I was president of all these things, meaning that I know the subject reasonably well. I was leading the Manline project, and I have also led this on humanities and climate, and some people appreciate that. Okay, because we have a gap in the program, and many of you may not be very strong in sea level math, I have added a few slides on the basis of what is sea level. Why would sea level rise or change? If the volume, ocean volume would increase due to basin building, if the water volume would expand due to heating, if water masses would move laterally. Okay? So those are the three things. Very, very simple. And now we can all those factors can be handled as to rates and amplitude. Quod era demonstrandum. Okay? This is the meters, change in sea level, rates in sea level. We can put a frame, physical frame, a frame by physical laws. You are not allowed to go outside it. Why? Because when we had these enormous masses of ice during the ice age at low to middle latitudes, and they are forced to melt with an enormous climatic force, which we can never see anything similar today or in the near future. The rate was 1 meter per century, 10 millimeters per year. In Stockholm, 10,000 years ago, just when we were beginning in the Holocene, and temperature was shooting up. Ice melted with ice margin of the Fennoscandian Iceland, melted with 800 meters per year. Still, it was only 10 millimeters per year rise of sea level. So, all those figures here, and there are many stupid things up here. You can just open the door, kick it up. We must be inside the frame, because it's a frame of physical laws. You cannot melt ice faster than the physical law says. And that's the reason. It takes time. So the IPCC says we are here. In the last 300 years, we have had variations within this little group. So those are the frames. I have answered factor 1, basin volume. Now we go to heating system. We have the water column. Okay? Water column, 6,000 meters, but it's only the surface which can be heated. And this is expansion, how much it goes up. Okay? So if 300 meters of the water expands is heated by 2 degrees, which is exceptionally much, and if exceptionally much, it would rise 10 centimeters. And that is nothing. Okay? If you come closer, then it must be 300 depth, about this depth. Then when you go to 100 meters, it's no more column, so less column, so it only becomes 3.5 centimeters. And when it's 10 meters, you are approaching the coast. That 10 meters, it's only 3.5 millimeters. So, what are we talking about? This is nothing. And when you come to the shore, there is no water column to expand. It's zero. It is as simple as that. Then some people say it's flushing into the sea. That's incorrect, because that has to do with the dynamic sea surface. The dynamic sea surface is always irregular, because it's the dynamic forces, and that is also temperature. So, that's the fact number 2. The third one, You take the El Nino, and sorry, it's the French spelling. In March 96, it was higher here, lower there. In December, this high was now this high there, and that low was there. So ocean volume had moved this way. And that happened even in the longer term. So when we had a high sea level in East Africa, we have a low in Peru. And they move back like a bathtub. So those factors are basic. I just thought I should put it here. So sea level changes. That's what I want to talk about. Remember, I'm not saying sea level rise, I'm saying sea level changes. The true facts are to be found, well, in nature itself, and you add, of course. Okay? Certainly not in modeling tables, just out with the modeling tables. Putting the focus on an elusive sea level rise is to steal the limelight from real problems in the real world. Once again, steal the limelight from real problems in the real world. We had it this morning in a little different wording. We therefore urge back to reality. And what is reality? Observation in the field itself. It is obvious why we have to keep the information correct. Coastal environmental change. Ignorance is very bad. And it goes down here to worse and worse. So, exaggerations. Now we are sniffing. We are here. There's lots of bad. We have to have a sound evaluation, whatever that is. But under the best we can do as scientists, with an open mind, with an open, always living debate. If we close the debate, how could it be sound? We help each other. It is an interaction. And that is worth trying. Then we have good planning, good economy, and hopefully good. This is why we are here today. Okay, because this was published here, but it was global and end here, actually, global warning instead of global warming. You have the gateway of India. Right. Disinformation and misunderstanding. There will be what I'm speaking here. No, nothing. Now I started with a real descriptive part. This is satellite altimeter data from 92 to 98. They present maps. But first of all, the French maps and the American maps do not correspond exactly. Also, every year they have a new map, and every year it changes. That's very strange, because it's a memory. How could it change? It's very little which in the dip. Now we go. Here's sea is supposed to rise at very high rates, over 7 millimeters per year. And here it's going down by about 1-2 millimeters per year. But look at the records. Look at the records. This is Kiribati. It's absolutely straight line. Those lows here, they are ENSO-evident, so they shouldn't be considered because they're spiked. They're something else. There's not a difference. It has nothing to do with the trend. And those who don't understand that, they don't understand statistics. It's a mixing of apples and pears, or bananas, or whatever, because they have nothing to do. So, Kiribati here. See the slide? And it's straight. Here, we have Tuvalu in the last part where they have a good narrow graph. The longer graph, it's absolutely straight line. So, map doesn't agree with observation. What should we change, observation or map? I'll go for map. And then we have Galapagos, where it's supposed to go down. Look here, it's absolutely straight. And the ENSO down here is the ENSO up. But it's a straight line. No tendency. Even Hawaii, where it's supposed to go up very much, it might even be the opposite trend, the slight right instead of falling down. But that means that the global picture is very unrealistic. Now I take you to what I want to talk about, the Indian Ocean. And this is one of the satellite, the French complication and the blue plate first I will discuss. And we have to make a note to, here is Venice. Venice is a wonderful place. We have a high record back to 730. We have a slow subsidence factor that superimpose that we have the variograph data. There is absolutely no rise in the 20th century. So on the contrary, at 1970 it starts to change down. Acceleration is not to talk about. And if you go to the North Sea, it's a wonderful test area because we have tide gauges both from subsiding areas and uplifted area, and we can test it. So Holland has been going down since millions of years. If IPCC would be correct, which of course they are not, Holland would be up. Holland is not going up. So we can test it. We can even test that after 1940, 50, the rise slowed down, the relative rise, and in the last 30, 40 years has not accelerated. COP7 have even gone down. And if you ask me, you can get the publication of these things. Okay, we had St. Paul's Island. It was a very good marker here because it was a passing of Mercury in front of the Sun and Mercury. And here today, there is absolutely no long-term trend. This is what IPCC would have predicted, and this is what the loading model would predict. So that's not so good. We go to Maldives, which is my favorite place. I have just cut out the last 1500 years. Record, you see our ups and downs. The Buddhists came here, Buddhists came here in place, and of course they had experienced then the Arabs which came, or the Maldivians which came later. They have experienced all those fluctuations. They have survived it. But of course, I will now focus this place. Here in the low, I have submarine, I have peat, and the peat transferred into a ditch because lake level and sea level outside rose. We had actual datings of those things, and then the lake dried out, and that was the fall here. We have this Queen's Bath, where we have this high tide level of today. The previous one at this one, we are standing there, and the third one up here, that's number 4 level. So we have morphological thing. We have the tree here, which is standing here, it has been standing there for 40 years at a very delicate position. Only it was teared down by so-called Australian scientists because it didn't agree with global warming. Here is erosion. Many people think that erosion means sea level rise. It's completely wrong. It could be both rise and fall, but usually it's fall. Here it's taken, eroded. There you have the previous beach ridge. This beach is being seen here. It's the same one. There is the erosion phase. The sand here, where is it going? It is going longshore drifted, but also downward, outward. So sea has been falling for it, and it's overgrown by vegetation here. And one more here, a rock platform. This rock platform was covered. We have a map from 1922 when sea was up here. This is abandoned now. There's no waves there. And this is, you can even see a difference. This is being weathered, this is unweathered. It's a present rock platform in being. And it's ending here. If sea would be rising the slightest, it would attack it. It's not doing that. It's not doing it. It has been a stable thing for the last 30 years at least. So we get to, I just take this largest example. A low, a high, peak, which I discussed, I showed it, and all those evidence we had for this slightly higher, look at that, the lagoonal level, lake level, beach, and beach reaching, and then a fall, the dry lake, the present lagoon level, active rock platform, present beach, and present fall. And that has been stable. The fall here, according to the fishermen, was in 1970s. We will come back to that. So when the president in Morner says that we will be flooded, it's a bit funny because if sea is going out, our prediction is just will return to that level, and they didn't even notice it. So there's really no reason to have alarm. But he has meetings. A week ago he had a meeting on sea level changes, but it was him in the middle, surrounded by a lot of well-known American actors. But what do they know about sea level? It is shows. And when I say, he is saying this sea level, I'm saying sea level is not rising. We have been there on a lot of expeditions. I have taken the best people with me in the world on different parts of sea level investigation. One must be a crackpot. I don't tell you who. I believe it is. But you can even accuse me of it. I don't like it. In the south of the Laccadives, you'll have another name for it. In the Minicoy, I have a picture from Nils Finn, which tells the fact. The people there, they know the real story because there's not a political pressure upon them. You have a very nice government of nice people of India. They don't tell you what to think, if it's what they're doing in Morner. So here you can see it's overgrown. It's the same as in our beach. And then today's beach, the waves are not going up there. So they say that they know that no traces of sea level rise are to be found. That they are amused by the story by the president in Morner and understand that it's all a matter of money. Thank you. Okay, so we turn to Bangladesh. And you can get the paper from it, but I have to make it rapidly. Coastal erosion, yes, for sure, coastal erosion. And many people would say, sea is attacking. Sea is attacking. But watch out, because you look at the trees, you can see the horizontal roots. What does it tell you? It tells you it's a mangrove. It means that this must have been under the mudflat. That's clear. That's very clear. So it's very, very simple. You put up the mudflat. It's here. You have the old mudflat behind of the delta. So certainly it's not a rise. And then you can go one step more because the sediment was washed away by the cyclone. Has been the larger grain has been accumulated as a little high tide beach ridge. So it's not a real beach, but it's a silly ridge. And that, as a matter of fact, is about 10 centimeters or so below the general map. So something happened, and it goes together with people moving out of it, and trees which could not tolerate salt are also moving out. So that was Bangladesh, this one. Now we take Mumbai and the one with the strange name on the other side. I cannot pronounce. Oh, it's not too brief. At any rate, you know it better. There in the language of England, I am an amateur. In sea level, I'm not. Okay, at any rate, Mumbai was built in 1875. Look here. It is composed of segments. Each one needs to be treated by itself. A stable part, rising part, falling part, a stable part. And this part, this is where we are. Some people take this linear regression line. That's nonsense. Don't do that. Because this is composed by the melting and the warm pulse, the first warm pulse of the 20th century. This is, we have to debate. It's not volume, I think. It's something in the dynamic system in the Indian Ocean. And that is, again, back to reality. No, the other things mean we heard that it's 0.74. It is not 0.74. It's 0 today. It has been so for 50 years. Okay? The other thing is something else. It may come back, but today is not the way you print your truth. But you found this lowering between 58 and 62. And your diagram on the monsoon is quite interesting, the big contrast there. It's about the same years. So, in India, on the tide gauge record, you have this rise and fall and the stability of 50. That's tide gauge record. In Bangladesh, you have morphological, sedimentological delta of a stability for 40, 50, 60 years. It's hard to say. But it was also lowering, so this lowering is truly the same. and this part, and that was even traces of something lower here. In Morner, this is of course this, that one is that one, the fall is here. Here I have it at 1970, and but that was the fisherman. I can push it back, or it could be time transgressive. But stability in the reef morphology and reef construction, in stability in the delta, stability in the tide peak. So don't believe what you have been heard. So now we come to a lot of lies and exaggeration linked to global warming. People may behave so, but trees don't fly. They have this fly, and that's true. So you don't need even to believe me. Just look at the trees. No? And then if you have the past record and the future prediction, about 5 centimeters plus or minus 50. So that's nothing, far below what is dangerous. We have one way of checking what is going on. If sea level would rise, the radius of the Earth would increase. Those who I said the figure skating, a woman, when she turns around very rapidly, puts his arm here, and when she or he, but she, that's nice to look at, want to slow down, she puts out her arm delicately. Because then the radius is slowing down. The law, that is called the law of angular momentum. If sea level would rapidly rise, following the law of angular momentum, the Earth should experience a deceleration, slowing down. Slowing down is in this direction, speeding up in that direction. This is not the case. Why is it? Because sea is not rising. Of course. Sorry. And then we have this global warning again. We can stay calm to the future. We are back at this conclusion that we don't care. That's a bad thing to do. But we should not exaggerate. I think there is no alarming thing here, and we should go on with that. Planning, and that was the talk earlier. And without the flooding so much of the threat in IPC has gone. The tiger has lost its maybe it was not even a real tiger, just blown up balloon down there. We should turn the limelight on real problems in the real world. Here you can get, I have them in my stick, so you can just get it. And someone made it, I have the modest title of a little booklet, The Greatest Lie Ever Told. Back to reality. Climate change is a natural process. Sea level is not an alarming that. Carbon dioxide poses no special problem. Far too long has all the talk about having stolen the limelight with real problems in the real world. It is time for a change. Back to reality. Thank you.